Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. It's me Vinod. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you're back at it. There was lots of news about Karnataka Bank over the weekend, which I am going to talk about on Instagram. By the time you see it, I've already spoken on Instagram. So you can go catch that reel or I'll dump the video of the same reel in the WhatsApp group. So you can definitely go check out in the WhatsApp group and see what I had to say about Karnataka Bank and all the other stuff regarding Indian equity. Like I said in the Instagram, today I went ahead and bought some Karnataka Bank for myself in Tiffin Coffee range. I was watching Mark Manson's video over the weekend, one of his vlogs, and he was talking about this book. So this is going to be my read for the week. Hopefully I'll be able to get through it with all the work which I have. So if you're looking for something to read, which is non-financial related, maybe you can give this a read. And maybe we can talk about it later if you're interested. You can drop a comment about that. I'll talk about that. Why I'm reading this book. Anyway, aside from that, what did I want to talk about? Yes, I did see the comments and I'll club the comments from this video and the ones from the previous videos and talk about the comments tomorrow because there's a little bit of an interesting topic which I wanted to dive in today, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of feedback on that too, so I can combine both of them and talk about it tomorrow. So today I want to talk about something different. We have been talking about obesity drugs, and naturally, if everyone in the US and in the developed world are consuming obesity drugs in one form or another, be it injection intravenously or through pills, we are popping them and trying to lose weight. And the way these drugs work is they suppress your appetite. So by suppressing your appetite, you won't want to eat, and that in turn will of course have a ripple-on effect on consumption. If that is true, then why are restaurant stocks booming in the US? And that is what I wanted to talk about today. This is a strange phenomenon we are seeing right now in the American market. Though we're eating less, restaurants are doing rather well, at least the stocks are. So this is something curious. And this whole story, if you talk about eating, of course, competitive eating, we have to talk about Joey Chestnut. Those of you who do not know who Joey Chestnut is, there's a famous hot dog eating competition that happens in the United States. It's called Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. And the guy who's the GOAT, the greatest of all time, is this person called Joey Chestnut. And he scarfs down hot dogs by the truckloads. And not only hot dogs, he's done boiled eggs and he's done jalapeno poppers. The man is a phenomenal eater. And last year, something controversial happened. A scandal broke out because he went and endorsed, of all things, the Impossible Foods vegan hot dog, and Nathan's barred him from participating. No problem. He went down to Texas and he competed against some army guys down there, and he wolfed down another 57 hot dogs to 49 while the crowd was screaming and cheering him on. Of course, I'm not here to talk about competitive eating. That's nothing to do with investing, but it's an interesting anecdote about American pop culture. For those of you who don't know what it is, you can definitely look it up. So Nathan's famous stock is up 68%. That's the reason why I want to talk about Nathan's. And over the past year, they're up 68%. And wait, they're not the only ones. It's not an anomaly. With obesity drugs like Eli Lilly booming, millions of Americans getting onto GLP-1 and trying to shed pounds, you would assume this would be bad news. So the funny thing is, Eli Lilly's this whole obesity thing, we would expect restaurants to do bad, and Nathan is just not an outlier. If you look at it, logically speaking, less appetite, less eating out, less money spent at places like Chili's and Olive Garden, right? So, but why are these restaurants doing so well? There is a ETF called EATZ, EATS, and it's up 23%, 10 percentage points better than the S&P 500, which is a phenomenal news to look at. And Nathan's famous is just one small piece of that. The whole sector seems to be doing well. And why is this? Is this a big comeback which is happening for someone like Chili's? So let's look at Binker International, the owner of Chili's. They're a perfect example for this. A year ago, Binker's menu was bloated, kitchens were slow. It was pretty much written off, Chili's. And a new CEO came in, he trimmed the menu, boost efficiency. Of course, the mozzarella cheese pull, which was on TikTok. Those of you outside India would know about the mozzarella cheese pull, how it became a sensation on TikTok and how it became viral. And of course, they famously beat McDonald's in its own game by giving bigger and beefier burgers at $11 combos. McDonald's stock was also up. It was up 8%. But Binker's stock, the owners of Chili, is up 190%. So what is happening? So is there suddenly people are eating more because they're on obesity drugs? No. There is something known as survivorship bias, and that is what is playing out. Recently, the whole food industry, restaurant industry went through a purge. Lots of big bankruptcies happened. Red Lobster, TGI Fridays, Hooters, Boko di Bopo, all of these guys have been wiped out. So now there are only a few players left. So the survivors are scooping up the market share and they're thriving. So chains like Chili's, that's Olive Garden and Longhorn, Texas Roadhouse are all the last ones standing. And they are dominating the market because there's no competition. It reminds me of the WWE's King of the Ring contest that happens, where everybody, all the superstars jump in and whoever's left standing is crowned the King of the Ring. So during this whole process, people are eliminated through different ways and means, some of it hilarious, some of it rather sad, and then finally one or two will be left and they'll gang up and one will be crowned the king. So that seems to have played out in the American food industry, restaurants especially, and now whoever is left standing are all the ones scooping up the market and dominating it. Darden restaurants are up 45% in a year. They're taken this takeout to another level, they're booming in it, and they're partnering with Uber Eats, and 22 PE, this look reasonable. Texas Roadhouse up 11%, is trading at 28 PE. Binker still at 20 PE, still room to run. I think go up the flagpole if you look at this. Even fast food, JP Morgan has upgraded Yum Brands, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, KFC. So all of these, through cost cutting, are able to boost growth, and all of them are doing well. So does this mean we should all start immediately diving into these restaurants and start buying at their stocks? No. But here's the catch. This obesity GLP-1 obesity drug is not going away. Of course, there are rumors. There are rumors in the internet, as always. There are rumors, conspiracy theories out there, that the food industries have all gotten together and the big food honchos are looking at this obesity drug as a problem. Like I don't want to mention names because it's a conspiracy, there's no proof in it. So they're getting together and they're trying to find some drug or some additive they can add which will neutralize the effects of GLP-1. So anyway, aside from all that, if that happens or not or whatever, that's conspiracy theory. But the catch is this. Lots of people are taking on this obesity drug and it's not going away. 8 million Americans are already on them. The pills are becoming cheaper, the intravenous injections are becoming cheaper, more generic forms of these drugs are going to come in. I'm not talking about this at all in their earnings call. So if you talk about the CEOs and all that, they're not talking about what is the storm that's coming. They're more focused on how they manage to survive this. And some of the surviving they did manage to not do this is not because they did great business, it's just that a lot of competition disappeared. So keep that in mind. This drugs is going to create a lot less appetite, which is going to in turn create a lot less traffic to these restaurants, which is really going to dent traffic. So I would say wait and watch. And I would love to hear your opinion on this. There are oddballs, like, if you talk about sweet green salads and Kava Mediterranean, that guy is down 57% in the year, not profitable at all. Kava is down 21%. And it's still trading at 100 plus PE. So I don't know. I would say, by and large, this is the trend which is there. What is your opinion? What do you think on my take on this? Do you think it's better to not jump into this bandwagon? Or if you are in this bandwagon, should you be thinking about how to exit the bandwagon? This is what I would like to know. This survivor bias is what I want to hit on today. It's not a bad macro, but it's a good story. And a few chains means more market share and they can be stronger. This can be true in a lot of things, in a lot of industries. Not only in food, it can be true in even microprocessor chip industries. It can be true in software. And it does happen. A few chains are around and they monopolize. A few companies are around and they monopolize. We spoke about Shell and BP. And antitrust can even step into this, I guess. So this is curious. I would like to know what your thoughts are on this. Do you think food and restaurant 3 are stocks we should consider. In India, Jubilant Foods is one. Though I'm not talking about Indian stocks, Jubilant Food has always been a darling for investors. Investors always seem to go flocking to Jubilant Foods. The funny thing, Jubilant Foods doesn't even own the companies they're dealing with. They're only a franchisee, and we seem to be valuing them at sky high levels. So, would love to know your thoughts. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. As I promised, next video I will round up all the questions from this video and the previous videos, and I'll do an extended Q&A answer sessions on that. As far as Karnataka Bank is concerned, do go catch the video on Instagram and on WhatsApp, where I've given you my thoughts and feedback on that. Nothing else more to say. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you're ready to start July, 1st of July tomorrow. And for Americans, it'll be a nice long weekend because the 4th is coming. 4th, of course, lands on a Friday, I think. And that'll be a long weekend for you guys because of your Independence Day celebrations. For those of you who are Americans already, I do wish you early Independence Day, happy Independence Day. And for the rest of us who are there, who are not Americans, can still celebrate it. It's a wonderful holiday there, the 4th of July. Those barbecues are fantastic. Anyway, I digress again, like I did in the beginning when I was talking about the hot dogs. Thanks for watching the video. Nothing else more to say. Have a great evening.